The vast emptiness of space stretched before the USS Horizon, a sleek human exploration vessel cutting through the dark expanse. Captain J. Park stood motionless, his eyes fixed on the holographic display that flickered with unexpected movement. Something was approaching, something large and definitely not human. The ship's communication systems crackled to life. Elena Kim, the communications officer, adjusted her headset, her fingers dancing across the translating interface. The incoming signal was unlike anything they had encountered before. Strange, geometric patterns of sound and light pulsed through the ship's advanced receivers. "Captain," Elena called out, her voice steady but with a hint of tension, "we're receiving a transmission from an unidentified vessel." J. Park moved closer to the display. The alien craft was massive, easily 5 times the size of the Horizon. Its surface gleamed with a metallic sheen that seemed to shift and change as it moved. No standard geometric shape could describe its structure. It was alive, almost organic in its movement. The first communication was more of a declaration than a greeting. A booming voice translated through the ship's systems. "Primitive human vessel, you have entered restricted space. Prepare for immediate inspection and potential confiscation." Elena looked up at the captain, her eyebrow raised. The translation was clearly meant to intimidate, but something in the alien's tone suggested more than just a routine encounter. J. Park remained calm. Years of space exploration had taught him that first contacts were delicate moments. One wrong move could escalate into a conflict that nobody wanted. He pressed the communication button, choosing his words carefully. "This is Captain J. Park of the United Earth exploration vessel Horizon. We come in peace and are on a standard scientific exploration mission," he responded, keeping his tone neutral and professional. The alien response was immediate and dismissive. "Peace? Your species understands nothing of peace. We have observed your kind, primitive, violent, destructive." Something in the way the alien spoke caught Jay's attention. It wasn't just a routine encounter. This felt like a predetermined judgment. On the bridge, the crew remained silent. Each member of the Horizon's team was carefully selected, experienced space explorers who had seen countless unusual encounters. But this felt different. The tension was palpable. The alien vessel began to move closer. Its movements were precise, calculated. Advanced sensors from the Horizon started collecting data. The ship's computer began analyzing the incoming information, creating complex models of the alien craft's capabilities. Elena continued translating the alien communications. They spoke of humanity as if humans were nothing more than an inconvenient species, a potential threat to be neutralized or controlled. Their language was clinical, devoid of any emotional understanding. "Your technological capabilities are minimal," the alien communication continued. "Your weapons are crude. Your understanding of advanced space travel is primitive." J. Park allowed himself a slight smile. If there was one thing humans were good at, it was surprising those who underestimated them. The ship's tactical officer, Michael Chen, was quietly running system checks. Weapon systems were powered down but ready. Defense protocols were engaging at minimal levels. Standard first contact procedures demanded a non-threatening posture. Outside the ship's reinforced windows, the alien vessel continued its approach. Its surface seemed to pulse with an inner energy, complex patterns of light moving across its hull. It was beautiful in a terrifying way, a living machine that seemed more sentient than mechanical. Elena's translation software worked overtime, breaking down the complex alien language. Each communication revealed more about their perspective, a species that viewed themselves as ultimate arbiters of space exploration, who saw other civilizations as potential challenges to be assessed and, if necessary, eliminated. Jay understood. The game being played. This was a test. The aliens wanted to see how humanity would respond. Would they show fear, aggression, submission? "We request peaceful dialogue," Jay responded, his voice calm and steady. The alien response was a mixture of amusement and condescension. "Dialogue? Your species has no concept of true communication." Little did they know, humanity was about to teach them a lesson they would never forget. The first alien dropships descended on New Terra Colony like metallic raindrops, their hulls gleaming with an otherworldly sheen. The landscape looked peaceful, rolling hills, dense forest patches, and scattered human settlements that seemed completely unprepared for an invasion. David Lee watched from the underground command center. His fingers moved quickly across holographic displays, tracking each incoming vessel. The aliens believed their advanced energy shields made them invincible. They moved with mechanical precision, spreading out across the colony's terrain with calculated efficiency. The initial communication had been brief. "Surrender is your only option," the alien commander had declared. But humans had a different plan. On the surface, everything looked normal. Farmers continued working in their fields. Small transport vehicles moved along dirt roads. Children played near settlement boundaries. To the alien invasion force, it seemed like a typical day on a primitive colony world. The first alien battalion landed near the central agricultural zone. Their massive combat suits towered over the landscape, equipped with advanced scanning technology that could detect the slightest movement. They expected minimal resistance. What they didn't know was that the entire landscape was a weapon. Commander Lee's voice crackled through the communication systems. "Adaptive camouflage activated. Defense protocols engage." Suddenly, the terrain came alive. Rocks that looked ordinary transformed into mobile gun platforms. What seemed like simple vegetation shifted and reconfigured into sophisticated weapon systems. The aliens had no time to react. The first wave of dropships found themselves surrounded. Weapon emplacements emerged from seemingly innocent terrain features. A hillside became a massive cannon. A small stream transformed into a precision targeting system. The aliens' advanced sensors went haywire, unable to distinguish between natural landscape and active defense mechanisms. In the command center, David Lee watched with calculated precision. Each movement was a carefully orchestrated dance of technology and strategy. The humans had spent years preparing for this moment, designing a defense system that was more than just a series of weapons. It was a living, breathing ecosystem of protection. The alien commander, watching from his flagship, couldn't believe what was happening. Their initial scans had shown a colony with minimal defensive capabilities. Now, the entire landscape was fighting back. Precision laser systems cut through alien battle armor. Electromagnetic pulses disabled their advanced technology. What looked like simple rocks and trees became the most sophisticated defense network in the galaxy. Tactical teams, hidden underground, moved like ghosts. They weren't just defending, they were teaching the aliens a lesson about underestimation. One alien dropship attempted to retreat. Before it could rise more than 50 meters, a series of coordinated energy bursts disabled its propulsion systems. It crashed back to the ground, its advanced technology suddenly useless against the planet's adaptive defense network. The colony's children watched from protected shelters, their eyes wide with a mixture of fear and excitement. This was the moment humanity had prepared for, the moment when an advanced civilization would learn that appearance meant nothing. Each alien soldier found themselves surrounded, their communication systems jammed, their advanced weapons neutralized, their invasion plan falling apart within minutes of landing. David Lee's voice remained calm. "Containment protocols active. Minimize civilian risk." The landscape continued its transformation. What had seemed like a peaceful colony world revealed itself as a living, breathing weapon system. The aliens had come expecting an easy conquest. Instead, they found themselves in a nightmare of adaptive technology and strategic brilliance. Hour after hour, the invasion continued. But with each passing moment, it became clear that the aliens were losing. Their advanced technology meant nothing against a defense system that could think, adapt, and respond faster than any computer. By nightfall, the invasion force was reduced to scattered, confused units. Their once proud military might had been dismantled by a colony that looked from a distance completely ordinary. The message was clear. Humanity was not to be underestimated. In the command center, David Lee allowed himself a small smile. The first test had been passed. The aliens would learn. Humanity was anything but primitive. The initial invasion was over, but the real conflict was just beginning. The alien flagship hung in orbit, its massive hull reflecting fragments of light from distant stars. Inside, Commander Coral watched the communication screens with growing confusion. Entire assault teams had vanished. Their most advanced scanning technology showed nothing, just empty terrain that seemed to swallow entire battalions. Lieutenant Anna Choi's voice crackled through the communication systems. Her tone was calm, almost clinical. Secondary defense, protocols engaging, weapon systems recalibrating. On the alien bridge, panic started to spread. The humans were doing something impossible. They were fighting a war that didn't follow any known military strategy. Every time the aliens thought they understood the human defense mechanism, it changed. One alien tactical officer reported strange readings. Terrain that seemed impossible to traverse suddenly became active combat zones. Rocks transformed into weapon platforms. Trees became communication relays. The entire planet appeared to be one massive living defense system. Coral slammed his crystalline fist on the command console. Scan again. Find their weakness. But there was no weakness to find. The humans had turned an entire planet into a weapon more sophisticated than any technology the alien confederation had ever encountered. Reconnaissance drones sent to gather intelligence simply disappeared. Some were disabled by electromagnetic pulses. Others were absorbed into the landscape, their advanced sensors going completely dark. It was as if the planet itself was fighting back. The human strategy was beautiful in its complexity. They weren't just defending, they were teaching a lesson. Each alien attempt to understand was met with another layer of technological complexity. Communication intercepted by human teams revealed growing frustration among the alien forces. Their advanced technology, which had conquered hundreds of civilizations, was useless against this unexpected resistance. Anna Choi watched the global defense network with a sense of calculated precision. Every movement was a carefully planned response. The humans had transformed their entire colonial infrastructure into a living, breathing combat system. Agricultural systems became weapon platforms. Communication networks transformed into sophisticated, jamming devices. What looked like simple farming equipment could become advanced defensive technology in milliseconds. The aliens had expected a quick conquest. Instead, they found themselves fighting an enemy that didn't play by any known rules of warfare. One alien squadron attempted a direct assault on a human settlement. Before they could get within 5 kilometers, their entire communication system went dark. Weapon systems failed. Propulsion became impossible. They were left drifting, helpless against an invisible enemy. Corral's frustration grew with each failed attempt. The human resistance wasn't just unexpected, it was fundamentally changing how the aliens understood warfare. Reports from ground units became increasingly bizarre. Entire combat teams reported fighting against an environment that seemed alive. Terrain that changed. Weapons that appeared from nowhere. Communication systems that spoke in languages no translator could understand. The humans were doing something revolutionary. They weren't just defending, they were rewriting the entire concept of planetary defense. Deep underground, human strategic teams worked with amazing coordination. Each defense system was interconnected. Each response was calculated. They were fighting a war that existed beyond traditional military understanding. Agricultural zones became combat zones. Communication networks became weapon systems. The entire planet was a single, massive, intelligent defense mechanism. Coral realized something terrifying. The humans weren't just resisting. They were teaching a lesson about underestimation. One alien communication officer whispered a terrifying observation. They're not just fighting. They're playing with us. And he was right. The humans had turned an entire planetary invasion into something more than a battle. It was a demonstration of technological superiority. A message to the galaxy about what happens when someone underestimates humanity. The resistance continued. The aliens found themselves fighting an enemy they couldn't understand. A planet that was alive. A civilization that refused to be conquered. Humanity had spoken, and the universe was listening. The alien flagship's communication systems erupted with chaos. Fragmented reports showed their most advanced technology becoming obsolete within minutes of engagement with human defensive systems. Commander Park watched the unfolding scenario with calculated calm. Humanity's technological adaptability was about to be revealed in its most brutal form. Weapon systems on the human side began transforming in real time. Each alien attack was immediately analyzed, processed, and countered before it could fully develop. The humans had created something beyond traditional technological defense, a living, learning combat network. One alien tactical unit discovered this the hard way. Their most advanced plasma cannon, capable of destroying entire city blocks in seconds, suddenly found its targeting systems completely neutralized, not just disabled, completely rewritten by an adaptive human algorithm that learned faster than any known artificial intelligence. Lieutenant Elena Kim monitored global communication networks. Her fingers moved across holographic displays, each gesture sending waves of technological disruption through the alien invasion force. What looked like simple data transmission was actually a complex weapon system that could disable entire squadron communication networks in milliseconds. The aliens realized they were fighting something unprecedented. These humans didn't just have technology. They had a technological ecosystem that could think, adapt, and predict with terrifying accuracy. Advanced alien energy shields began failing, not through direct destruction, but through complex, algorithmic attacks that essentially taught the shields their own vulnerabilities. Each defensive mechanism was being learned, understood, and then systematically dismantled. Spacecraft in orbit found themselves surrounded by what appeared to be simple communication satellites. These were anything but simple. Each satellite was a sophisticated weapon platform that could reconfigure its technological signature faster than the aliens could comprehend. Commander Park's voice remained steady. Adaptive response protocols activated. The entire human technological response was like a living organism. It didn't just react, it anticipated, it learned. It evolved faster than any known technological system in the galaxy. Alien weapon systems that had conquered hundreds of civilizations became useless. Laser cannons found their targeting systems completely rewritten. Energy weapons discovered their power sources mysteriously redirected. Propulsion systems were transformed into complex mathematical puzzles that rendered them inoperable. One alien commander reported a terrifying observation. They are not just defending, they are teaching us a lesson about technological understanding. Underground research facilities on New Terra Colony were the real architects of this technological miracle. Teams of scientists and engineers had spent decades preparing for exactly this scenario. They didn't just create weapons, they created adaptive technological ecosystems that could think and respond faster than any known computational system. What looked like simple communication networks were actually sophisticated weapon platforms. Agricultural tracking systems became global defense coordination centers. Every human technological system was interconnected, learning, and responding in milliseconds. The aliens had believed humans were primitive. Now they understood their fatal mistake. Entire alien battalions found their most advanced technology becoming nothing more than expensive metal containers. Weapon systems that had conquered civilizations became useless against humanity's adaptive technological defense. Commander Park allowed himself a small smile. This wasn't just a battle. This was a demonstration of human potential. Each alien attempt to understand was met with another layer of technological complexity. Scanning systems went dark. Communication networks became unintelligible. Weapon platforms transformed faster than any computer could track. The technological revelation was complete. Humanity had shown the galaxy that true technological superiority wasn't about having the most advanced system. It was about the ability to learn, adapt, and evolve faster than any opponent could comprehend. As alien ships began retreating, one final message broadcast across their communication networks. Humanity was not to be underestimated. The battle was more than a conflict. It was a clear message to the universe about human potential. Technological superiority had a new definition, and humanity had just written it. The stars seemed to hold their breath as the final confrontation approached. Humanity's counterattack was nothing short of a technological symphony, precise, devastating, and absolutely unexpected. Commander J. Park stood on the bridge of the USS Horizon, his eyes reflecting the holographic displays that showed the alien fleet's complete destruction. What had begun as a simple exploration mission had transformed into humanity's most significant moment of galactic declaration. The remaining alien ships tried to retreat, but they found themselves trapped in a web of technological complexity they couldn't comprehend. Human satellites, which looked like simple communication devices, transformed into sophisticated weapon platforms. Each satellite could track, predict, and neutralize alien defensive systems faster than the aliens could even process a response. On New Terra Colony, soldiers and civilians watched the final moments of the invasion. Children who had been hidden in underground shelters now emerged, witnessing humanity's most important victory. This wasn't just a battle. This was a statement to the entire universe. Alien communication systems began broadcasting desperate messages. Their most advanced technology was being systematically dismantled by a species they had considered primitive. Every weapon system they possessed became useless within moments of engagement. The human counterattack targeted not just the alien fleet, but their entire technological infrastructure. Communication networks collapsed. Navigation systems became impossible to operate. Weapon platforms turned into nothing more than expensive metal containers floating in space. One alien commander's final transmission captured the entire moment. We underestimated them. We thought they were weak. The response from humanity was simple and clear. Never again would anyone make that mistake. Tactical teams on the USS Horizon coordinated a response that was both beautiful and terrifying. Each movement was calculated. Each attack was a lesson in technological superiority. The humans weren't just fighting. They were demonstrating what happens when a species is consistently underestimated. Entire alien communication networks went dark. Navigation systems became impossible to operate. Weapon platforms collapsed into themselves, rendered completely useless by adaptive human technology that could learn and respond faster than any known computational system. The battle lasted less than 3 hours, but its impact would be remembered for generations. On the colony's surface, celebration began, not a celebration of violence, but a celebration of survival. Humanity had shown that technological superiority wasn't about having the most advanced weapon. It was about the ability to adapt, learn, and respond faster than any opponent could imagine. Commander Park's final transmission to the alien fleet was brutally simple. You mistook our simplicity for weakness. The remaining alien ships were reduced to scattered debris. What had once been a massive invasion force was now nothing more than floating metal fragments, a testament to human technological potential. Survivors would tell stories for generations. Stories about the day humanity revealed its true technological capabilities. Stories about a species that could turn an entire planetary defense system into a living, breathing weapon platform. The galactic community would receive the news with a mixture of shock and respect. Humanity had just demonstrated that they were not to be underestimated. Not now. Not ever. As the last alien ship was neutralized, a strange silence fell across the star system. The universe seemed to pause as if understanding that something fundamental had changed. Humanity had spoken, and the universe had listened. The battle was over, but the message was just beginning. Generations would look back on this moment as the day humanity declared its true potential to the galaxy. The day a supposedly primitive species showed that technological superiority was about more than just advanced weapons. It was about the ability to learn, to adapt, to survive.